My name's Alphie and I'm a 5th year med student studying ECL. So with the current pandemic, it seems like everyone is doing online classes. And whilst this might have been quite nice at the start, being able to do class in bed and having snacks on the side, it looks like online classes are going to go on for the rest of the year. And it's starting to get quite hard. It's hard to stay motivated, it's hard to not get distracted by things like your phones. So in today's video, I wanted to go over 5 easy tips that help me stay motivated for online classes. And with that out the way, let's get into the video. Tip number 1, don't sleep in. With all the classes being online and often being recorded, you don't have to get up, wash up, get changed, and make your daily commute to uni. So the temptation to just stay in bed is definitely there, but trust me, you'll be much better off getting out of bed and actually getting on with your day. Even when the world seems a bit crazy and the most comforting thing to do is to just lie in your warm covers, trust me, you gotta get out of bed. So tip number 2. Build your own routine. With online classes being all over the place and lectures most of the time being recorded, it's hard to keep yourself motivated and want to do things on time and not laze around. If I can rewatch a lecture later on, then why do I have to get my day started early and just get things going? I think the best way to curb this is to have a daily routine and stick to that. So for example, if every morning you would have woken up at 7 a.m. to head to lectures, then maybe with online classes you'll get up at 8. But you gotta keep that time consistent and you gotta keep doing that. And if every morning you have a coffee, you jump in the shower and have some breakfast, then keep doing that. Don't fall into a slump. And after you finish your daily routine, jump into some scheduled things to do. So for me, the night before, I like to plan out what I want to do the day after. So for example, from 9 to 12, I'll schedule a block just to study. So in that block, that's all I get to do. And then afterwards, maybe I have some lunch, and then I might dedicate an hour or two to do something which I want to do after that. So for example, I could go for a walk, could go for a run. After that, from 2 to 6, I might have another dedicated block of study time. I can just do whatever I want for the rest of the day. Now obviously if you have scheduled classes, then make sure you attend those and then tailor your schedule to that. But the key with this is instead of relying on your university or your professors to give you a timetable that you can structure your life around, you gotta take that first step and try and structure your own day. Tip number 3 is having a dedicated space to study. So with classes being online, you're probably not going into uni or the library to get some work done. So instead, it's useful to have a dedicated space that you can just focus on doing your work. And when you're on that spot, it's probably better not to do other things like eat at your desk. And the reason for that is because if you can try and block out a certain area and just do one task in that place, then your brain can make an association with that place. So for example, if every time you sit at your desk, you know, okay, I need to get some work done, then you'll get into the rhythm and the habit of that. Okay, so we're going to switch things up and do things outside until it starts to rain again. But tip number 4, set some small goals and have some rewards. So sitting at your desk just doing lecture after lecture can be quite tiring. So one of the ways I keep myself motivated is I set these small goals and rewards. So for example, if maybe I set out a 2-hour block to just do question banks, then after that I'll make a mental note that I've done one of these small goals. And then I'll reward myself by maybe having a snack or maybe playing 1 or maybe more games of Smash. You can't be too tough on yourself to think that you can just power through the day without doing the things you enjoy. Alright, so moving on to the final tip, tip number 5, having a study buddy. So depending on the measures of where you live, it may be difficult for you to see your friends and maybe work together. But that doesn't mean that you can't keep each other accountable. And so during my revision period, one of the best things I did was every week, maybe once a week, I would try to check in on my friends and call my friends, and we would have this sort of group study session. And it'd be really good because we could test each other on difficult concepts and kind of try and talk through that. And beyond that, it's also good to just, look after each other and make sure everyone's okay. So those are my 5 tips to help keep you motivated during online classes. So I know that everyone's experience right now is a little bit different, but one thing we all share in common is that nothing feels quite right at the moment. But that's actually okay. And I think it's easy to be too tough on yourself and think that you have to be productive every single second of the day, but that's not actually the case. I think the most important thing is trying to find a balance of work and things that you enjoy during these difficult times. But anyways, that wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and until then, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.